The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Trader's Edge with Steve Rhodes. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-445-1044. The Trader's Edge. Now, Steve Rhodes.
Good day from TFNN. Welcome to the July 20th. Fantastic Friday edition of today's Trader's Edge show. I'm your host, Stevie Perseverance Rhodes. And I absolutely believe that each of us should always be pioneers of our future versus prisoners of our past. Hope everyone out there is having a great day. Let's make sure we have an extraordinary one. And of course, the easiest way to do that is to always remember that life happens for us, not to us. That's right. When you and I make that one little 2x4 shift, it means we can find a gift in every set of circumstance that life is going to toss at us. Today, you and I, we get to go check out the circumstance of these markets. We get to go figure out what the bulls and the bears, what the buyers and the sellers are communicating to you and I just past 1 o'clock in the afternoon. However, today, the show is being taped live at 8 a.m. So if you're listening at 1 o'clock, thanks so much for doing that. I'll make sure that the show is pertinent for the hour, but you don't have to send me emails as normal. But if you are listening right now, you're watching on TigerTV, you can reach out to me by email. You can give us a call. My email, steve@tfnn.com. Please, in that subject heading, put radio show question. Of course, you can call in right now, 877-927-6648. And if you're in the Tiger's Den, well, any ping will do. So let's go ahead and get this show started on fabulous and fantastic Friday. Of course, this is Tiger Financial News Network. I'm Steve Rhodes. Welcome to the show. Right now, the Dow trading down, Dow futures, that is, trading off 66 points, trading out at 24,992. The S&P futures are off 3 points. The NASDAQ is up 15 points, trading at about 73.82. Russell 2000 flat. U.S. dollar index down 157 ticks, trading out at 94.78. Gold is flat, trading at 12.23. Silver down 3 pennies at 15.36. Light sweet crude is up 41 cents, trading out at 69.87. Let's begin the day by taking a look at light sweet crude. If you listened to yesterday's show, you may recall, I believe it was Kyle that had taken a long position in light sweet crude. He wanted me to take a look at it, which we did. And I said, hey, you know what? You might want to remind me tomorrow, which is today, to take a look at it, because what we were looking at, here is the chart for light sweet crude. Let me just go ahead and open up the daily time frame. And one of the things that you and I, Kyle, looked at was the orange bar that was forming when we take a look at the charts that I used to look at our TAS market profiles. And when you see an orange bar forming, what it's communicating to you and I is that it is attempting to form a new profile. And so with regard to support and resistance, I said, hey, why don't you reach back out to me tomorrow? That's today, of course. And let's see if there's a new profile that forms. That way I can provide you with at least brand new levels of support or resistance. So we trade at 68.14 right now. Now, Kyle, and anybody out there that's trading light sweet crude, if you take a look at this box, in fact, it's going to be easier for you to take a look at this box if I go ahead and turn price off, because the very first thing you and I want to do is establish, is this box bullish or bearish? Now, what do you mean by that, Steve Areno? What we mean is we're trying to identify where the center of the box is in proximity to the top or the bottom. Proximity is everything. Hey, if I ask you what makes a business successful, or a restaurant or a retail store, many of you would say location, location, location. Well, this is our restaurant, our chart out here, and it is about location, location, location. And it's where is the location of the center of that box. 69.23 happens to be that number. It is closer in proximity to the top than the bottom, not by a huge amount, but by enough of an amount to say that, Kyle, anybody else is trading light sweet crude, if you are long this, look for 70.70, 70.70 to be a relatively significant area of resistance. Likewise, Sellers are in control of this box. Let's go ahead and turn price back on. Sellers are in control, and there's no reason for sellers not to be able to push price down to 67.03. So those are your two possibilities out here. If price were to close below 67.03, that would suggest that being in a long position in light sweet crude is probably not the best move out there. Now, when I say probably not the best move, what that would mean is as follows. A close below the daily profile, and we don't see that. You want to be able to understand both sides of the trade. A close below 67.03 would suggest a run down to 64.99. 64.99 is the bottom of its weekly profile. We are trading inside the weekly profile right now. It too has a bearish structure. Price had broken out of it. This week we are back inside of it. You get back inside of it, and that says profiles a rule out here. So also, if we look at the 60-minute time frame chart, that's the very left-hand panel of our screen for light sweet crudes. 68.71 is the top of that profile. That formed about 2 hours ago. That's a bullish structured box. That says, okay, price can make a move up to 68.71. So that's taking a look at light sweet crude. That is as of 8:12 in the morning. So you'll just have to, if you're listening on the 1 o'clock show, you'll just have to let me know, how did that play out? Now, since we don't have any other questions, and we do have the equity futures markets that certainly are trading, probably everybody wants to know, hey, what are the futures contracts telling you and I? So let's go take a look at it. Let's start by taking a look at the Dow equity futures contract. And it's had a nice run. Is that run over? It may be. It may be. Maybe it's not. It may be. Why do I say it may be? Well, it may be for the following reason. And you and I, for days, really for probably a good week here, have been watching the 5-hour time frame charts for the equity futures contracts. Right now, what I have up on my screen is the Dow equity futures contract for its 5-hour time frame. But what we can see here, look, the bulls and bears have one responsibility to you and I each day. They got to punch their clock, and they've got to punch in. And when they do that, what they need to do, what they do out there, can I say do? I just did. What they do is they provide us with signals, not smoke signals, bullish and bearish candles. Now, during the middle of a move, they're just kind of interesting. It's just like reading a book and you're turning the chapters. But the real chapters that you want to pay attention to are when those bullish or bearish reversal candles occur at a significant possible turning point in the story. And that's when we take a look at the 5-hour chart. We can see that it has that Rhodes momentum indicator signal. And at 4 a.m., this was 4 a.m. on July 19th, we had our topping signal. Now, in that case there, in a 5-hour time frame chart, that topping signal, that bearish engulfing candle, said price was going to go test the bottom of its 3-hour time frame chart. When did it do that? Well, price finally got down there at the 2300 hour, and that was on the 19th. That was on this 5-hour chart. Now what we can see is price is basically trading right on that level. So has all the work been done? Has the retracement in the Dow done and it's ready to move higher? It's possible. Resistance 25,137. When we come back from this small break, this brief break out there, we'll take a look at what the Dow needs to do to give you a signal that this chapter of price moving lower is not over. We'll be right back. I'm certain you are or strive to be one of the best at everything you do in life. It's the most common trait that we tigers and tigresses share. If you're looking to become the best of the best when it comes to managing your money, let me teach you to do what most wealth managers tell you can't be done, which is how to time the markets. I'm Steve Rhodes, author of Mastering Probability, and for the last 12 months, Timer Digest has been tracking my newsletter signals, which have earned me the ranking as their #1 market timer in the nation for the S&P 500 for the last 12, 6, and 3 months. Timer Digest also ranks me as the #1 market timer for gold as well. The fact is, markets can be timed, and I'll teach you the exact set of tools that I use that has transformed me into one of the best at what I do. Sign up for Mastering Probability today by clicking on the newsletter tab on the homepage of TFNN.com and get immediate access to workshops where I take you step by step how to use an extraordinary set of tools as well as provide great market calls too. Sign up today.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com. The Path of Least Resistance, David White's daily market letter, gives you trade recommendations based on David's proprietary power law vector indicator that put the odds of success overwhelmingly in your favor. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price for each stock and option trade. David combines his years of trading experience along with his background in technology and computing to offer his subscribers his take on the markets on a daily basis. Every trading day by 9:30, David publishes his morning issue of The Path of Least Resistance, along with updates sent out throughout the week whenever there is new actionable trading information. All new subscribers receive a 30-day, no questions asked money-back guarantee. To sign up for David White's daily trading newsletter right now, visit the front page of TFNN.com and you'll find The Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters.
Steve takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Sad news. Adrian Cronauer passed away a couple of days ago, and many of you may know him. That's Robin Williams in Good Morning Vietnam. That's in essence who the show was. Actually, Adrian Cronauer is the one that wrote the idea behind that what turned into be a movie out there, and obviously when I began doing the show, one of my best friends said, "Hey, you got to come up with some kind of consistent opening. People like consistent openings," is what he had recommended, and so I did my take, which is a very poor take on that opening, but it is cool. But it was sad to see that he had passed away, but looked like he lived a pretty good life out there. If you are listening in and you're listening in the normal time frame, it's about 8:19 in the morning, so I'm taping this show because of my travel schedule today, and I just wanted to make sure that I love doing the morning show for sure. As many of you know, if you've been longtime listeners, used to do 9 to 11 o'clock here. And it was always so great to do the show before the market opened because we could take a look at what was going on inside the equity futures markets to get a feel for what the market was communicating to us since last night's cash close out there. The reality is, as each of you know, that I rely 100% on what the patterns are that are taking place inside the equity futures contracts to help us understand what the markets are really telling us. I long ago left the ETF structures, the index ETF structures behind because I found them to be, quite frankly, useless. Useless because they only operated for 6.5 hours a day, and there was just simply so much more in this one world, stock markets, equity markets, commodity markets, and we really wanted to understand what traders were doing around the globe, and that's what you and I are doing, and that's why we took a look at the 5-hour chart for the Dow Equity Futures contract. Again, a reason that we did that, and I probably didn't make that evident, but let's do this. Let me scrunch it, and you can see these Rhodes momentum indicator signals. For example, when the Dow finally made that bottom back here, the most recent bottom was back on June 28th. So it made that bottom June 28th inside the Dow Equity Futures contract. And it did it with that Rhodes momentum indicator signal. Now, what we see is the same pattern, only opposite. Up at the top, it's trying to generate a topping signal. Now, it fulfilled its obligation for the 5-hour time frame, because its only obligation is to drop price back to support on the 5-hour time frame. That is, in fact, where this signal generated from. So it's possible that it's over. But what I had shared with you was we would take a look at the signal that says, hey, it ain't over till it's over out there. And in fact, maybe the Dow Equity Futures contract wants to trade back to that little red dash line. That red dash line is a Tom the Mark setup 9 count trend line. That's a mouthful out there, but what I can share with you is that when we go take a look at the level that price needs to close below in order for price to continue to move lower, give you a signal that this is maybe more than just a one page of the chapter and maybe several pages out here. You'd be looking for price to get back down to the 24,680 level. If price were to close below that, then it's curtains. No, it just means that there's a further retracement that would be underway. This is nothing more than just normal action inside of a market where markets move higher and markets move lower. 5-hour time frame chart has done an excellent job of being able to warn, let you and I know what the market's intentions are. Now, let's get right to it. What does the Dow have to do? And it's got to do several things in order to let you and I know that it's ready to take a breather out here. Well, what it needs to do is close below Stevie's red line. Now, you'll see that it's green because it's really a red-green line. The green line now tells us that the price oscillator, the difference between two exponential moving averages, in this case 19 and 39, is above zero. When it's green, it's above zero. Now, look, there's nothing more bullish than a rising price oscillator. And if you and I take a look at the Dow Equity Futures contract right now, and you were to ask me, is it bullish or bearish? You don't have to ask me. We just have to ask Bob. Actually, Bob is my system that tells us, but I will interpret Bob for you right here. The answer is bullish. The answer is bullish. It's absolutely bullish. It only changes that message if price closes below Stevie's oscillator and change line, that red-green line. That number is 24,894. So at 1 o'clock, or in this case here, 1:22 in the afternoon, go check the YEM. Go check the Dow Equity Futures contract. See if it's trading below 24,894. If it's trading below that, then what it suggests to us, if it closes below that level at the end of the day, is that we've got a further retracement coming. Where to? Well, we look to the bottom of its profile box, which is 24,671. Maybe lower, but that would then become the target out here. So it's the 24,893. Now, look, I know that many of you out there are saying, hey, thanks for all that great information. But Steve-O, I don't have access to the Dow Equity Futures contract. So could you make it a little easier for me, for you? And thanks for asking. Because you asked so kindly, the answer is, of course. So what we'll look at here is the actual Dow Jones Cash Indice. We can take a look at where Stevie's red/green line is. And that number is 24,887.15. Now, the number is going to change as price moves higher or lower during the day, but you can use that 24,887 as a really good guideline. If you see it close below that level, that says price is going to move lower. Now, in the cash indice, where is that? The cash indice says you move all the way back to the low of July the 2nd. You'll see that too has a Tom DeMark setup level. That becomes a natural area of support. So the target to the downside would be 24,077.56 if we're going to be exact. We never need to be exact out here, but that would be the number. First level of support, though, 24,887.15. If price tests and rejects that, it's nothing more than just a retracement back to a level of support. That's what Stevie's red line is a level of support, and that is inside the Dow Jones Cash Indice. So the 5-hour chart took us to the daily time frame inside the equity futures market. And really, when it's 8:24 in the morning, that's all that you and I really want to focus on is, hey, what's going on inside the equity futures market? Well, we also want to understand, because there are traders up right now, they're sitting in Paris. They're still sipping coffee because it's after lunch. Well, maybe they're sipping a nice Bordeaux. If you and I were over there, I guarantee you, we'd be sipping a nice Bordeaux. Right around now on a Friday afternoon at, what time is it? About 1:30 in the 1:30 in the afternoon. Yeah, and if we were sitting in Italy, well, then we'd probably drink I would suggest a 100% Merlot, Petrolo. would be a nice one. There's some other ones, but they have a lot of money to get some of those. Or maybe we do. Maybe we do a Super Tuscan Cabernet. We would select some good wines. That is for sure. No, limoncello. That would not, because Larry, we couldn't trade. If that's what we have to wait till after 5. But for you, and because it's Friday, if that's what you like, we would be pouring that for you for sure. But because there are traders around the world, what you and I have to do, it is incumbent upon you and I to understand what's on their screen. And there becomes the problem when we take a look at the Dow. Here is the Dow Equity Futures Contract. What we take a look at on the left-hand panel, that's the Dow Equity Futures Contract in dollars. Next to it is euros. Next to that is yen. So panel number 3 is yen. And then we've got Great British pounds out here. And we can see that the Dow Equity Futures Contract has only made slightly above a 0.786 retracement of its entire move. The same thing is said in euros. But when it comes to yen, it blew past its all-time high. It took that out. And the same thing in pounds. So you and I might be sellers. And in Paris, you might be sellers. But in Japan, in Tokyo, and over in London, they're actually buyers right now of the Dow. Who's going to win? Brit.
In quiet markets, investors search for new trading opportunities. We'd like to introduce you to a new product that provides opportunities even in flat markets. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a new and innovative Chicago-based exchange registered with the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their trading platform. Nadex never charges a fee to use their platform, which even includes real-time charts and full customization capability. Nadex's unique short-term binary options allow traders and investors to capitalize on strategies even when the underlying markets are quiet. Nadex's innovation has allowed them to come up with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com, or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den. The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of the TFNN shows, plus see all of the charts as they happen live, and have access to archives of all of those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days and greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets and how to make your money work for you. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
TigerTV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video giving you crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full-fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high-definition audio and video. TigerTV, exclusively at TFNN.com. This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. Now, this is my favorite Merlot out there. So, you know, if you're ever at a party and somebody offers this to you, or they say, hey, pick out any wine on the list, and they happen to have this Macedo out there. Pick it. I'm telling you, it is a beautiful, gorgeous wine out there. It's pricey. There's no doubt about it, but it is worth every sip out there. And if we were over in Italy, you know what? I'll go ahead. I'll buy that first bottle. You got to buy the second bottle, but I'll buy the first bottle. Hey, look, we were talking about with traders with regard to the Dow Equity Futures contract. The issue with regard to sellers right now of the Dow in dollars. So on your screen, you might say, I'm selling. Made a 0.786 retracement. I'm selling. Well, who's buying? Well, right now, who's buying is the lad that's sitting over in London, because on his screen, even though price is pulling back, it's still a breakout. Once price moved over 19,039, that's in pounds, that's what the Dow was trading at, what that trader saw was a breakout above a prior swing point. Now price is just pulling back to that area. It's not that there can't be sellers in pounds, but we need to see, or the Dow equity futures contracts need to see a close below that to make those traders say, hey, you know what? That breakout above a prior level of resistance or swing point, maybe that was a false break to the upside. Inside of yen right now, it's a little bit iffy. We're pretty much trading just slightly underneath that breakout area. And they're saying, what's going on here? In order for markets to move either higher or lower, they need to do so in unison in all currencies. If the markets are going to be moving lower in anything, did I say anything? I mean anything. I don't care if it's Bitcoin or if it's wheat or if it's oil or if it's gold or if it's a Dow equity futures contract. If you don't know what the gentleman or woman is doing on the other side of your screen, and that would be in other currencies, you are trading with both of your hands tied behind your back. If you get into an instrument, you want to see it moving higher in all currencies. You want to see it breaking out in all currencies. Okay, enough of that out there. But look, we are trying to do a thorough check of what's going on inside of the markets. Let's go take a look at gold. Hey, excellent idea out there. So let's go take a look and see what the gold contract is doing. Right now, what we'll do is, if I can find it on my screen, we'll take a look at Stevie's synthetic contract. We'll go ahead and take a look at the market profiles out here, and we're going to see there's not anything in sight that's going to help us, at least with regard to daily, weekly, or the 240-minute time frame. Just says price might be bouncing between 12.24 and 12.34. But wait, there's more. And what I mean by that is if we take a look at what the gold contract is doing right now, and yesterday, you may remember, at about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, as we were finishing the show, we were noticing that what the gold contract was forming, or appeared to be forming, was a hammer candle. It failed to do so when the contract closed out here. Pity, because if it was a hammer candle, we would have known that the bulls had shown up and they were trying to hammer out a bottom. Now, just because it's a hammer candle, which it's not as we speak right now, doesn't mean that it's a bottom, but it is so helpful when it occurs at the end of a pattern or the beginning of a pattern. This case here, it'd be the end, or is it the end or the beginning? Right now, it's neither. But if we were to see a bullish reversal candle today, and that is still possible inside of gold, and if we were to see it close above Stevie's red line, 1228.60, you're at 1225.10. You mean to tell me that $3.50 is going to make the difference, Steve-O, between you going long or staying short? And the answer there is absolutely. Positively, because there's nothing worse, there's nothing more bearish than a falling price oscillator below zero. That's what we have right now. Stevie's red line, in essence, is resistance. And until we can see buyers prove to you and I that resistance, old resistance, is going to become support, price can't continue lower. This is a bottoming formation pattern. That is different than the fact that price has found a bottom out there. So watch Goldilocks today. Watch that 1228.60 level and a close above that. Look, if this is going to be a turn inside of gold, it needs to show up on more than just your screen. It needs to show up on the screen of our friends over in Italy, of our friends over in Gay Paris watching the Tour de France, of our friends sitting over in London. Actually, there's nobody in London today, right? They're they're all over in Scotland watching the British Open. I'm not saying that's the reason why I'm taping the show early today, and I'm not saying that. I do have a travel schedule that I've got to, but look, let's get back to Goldilocks here, because what gold would need to do, it would need to move higher in all currencies. Don't fall for just what maybe your lads here in the U.S. are going to do. Make sure you're watching to see what your brethren, your sisterin, are doing as well. Make sure that you know that gold is moving higher in euros, because if it's not moving higher in euros, I can tell you, you're buying, they're selling. In fact, if it was opposite and you were tasked with buying or selling gold in euros, we said, nope, we're taking away all your U.S. dollars. You have to make all your trading decisions about gold in euros. Which screen are you going to be paying attention to? Yeah, you're going to be looking at gold priced in euros. Of course, you're going to want to know what your brother over the pond is doing or your sister over the pond is doing with gold priced in dollars. And let's face it, we're not going to leave out our friends that, quite frankly, it's 8:30 in the evening in Tokyo. And there's some guys in Roppongi sitting at a great sushi bar. They may be sitting at Azabu over in Tokyo, or some other great sushi bar over there. And even though they're drinking some really nice sake, some Otare Bune, maybe some Desai 23, or maybe they're going to drink I don't know. They'll come up with a good stuff. Hey, they're still paying attention to what's gold doing in my currency. You really think that if you're sitting over in Tokyo, that you're really concerned about what gold is doing in dollars? Really? Why? You're not. You're only concerned about what gold is doing in yen. You should be concerned about what it's doing in dollars, but what your bank account says is, what's that doing in my currency? Now, we know that it has done today so far, it has tested, as it did yesterday, tested and rejected a prior swing point. So there is some promise out here. But if gold is going to move higher, it needs to do so over in Scotland as well. It needs to stay above 936.50. That is pounds out here. It just needs to do that. So you need to see gold moving higher in all currencies out there. This is the way it works. This is called that global flow of cash. This is the secret that you and I get to share. This is the way that our trading from this point forward will always be handled, by taking a look and understanding what folks around the world are doing. We will never, ever not pay attention, because you might say, hey, I'm a buyer here. Who the heck is selling? And it may be millions of screens that are selling because they're trading what you're trading simply in their currency. So enough about that. You know what to look for as far as gold priced in dollars. And hopefully you'll look at the screen to see what your friends over in Japan, in Europe are doing as well. That will assist you in understanding what your vehicle is doing. Right now, Dow equity futures down 84, S&P off 4, NASDAQ up 13. Be right back.
Are China A shares hot or not? If you trade China A shares, now may be time to take a closer look. Trade CHAU or CHAD, Directions Daily CSI 300 China A-Share Bull and Bear ETFs. China A-Shares in either direction. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foresight Fund Services, LLC. The TAS Profile Scanner Plus, developed by John Logan and his team, is a standalone piece of software that can change the way you trade. Let the TAS Profile Scanner work for you by scanning over 5,000 financial instruments such as stocks, ETFs, commodities, futures, and Forex. Right now, you can get a 30-day free trial to the TAS Profile Scanner Plus right at TFNN.com. And when you sign up, you gain instant access to John Logan's most recent webinar, How Price, Volume, and Time Make Market Profile So Unique. This hour-long webinar with John Logan will walk you through the most powerful features of the scanner and how you can use it to become a more successful and profitable trader. You pay absolutely nothing for 30 days while you try out this software risk-free. For more information on the TAS Profile Scanner and to get your 30-day free trial today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. No matter what kind of trader you are, 2018 is a great time to try out a subscription to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report. Whether you just plan on diversifying your portfolio with some exposure to gold and gold mining equities, or you're a gold bull that sees 2018 as the year of commodities, now is a great time to sign up for the Gold Report. Tom O'Brien publishes his Gold Report every Monday morning before the market opens and covers a variety of topics including gold, silver, platinum, copper, the XAU and HUI, the dollar, bonds, South African rand, as well as more than 20 of the most actively traded mining equities. Start your 2018 off with a bang and sign up for the Gold Report today. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. For all the details and to start your subscription right now, visit the front page of TFNN.com and you'll find the Gold Report under Investment Newsletters.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
Welcome back, folks. So our first writer in. Hey, if you're listening to the show right now at the normal time, which would be 1:42 in the afternoon. I am taping this at 8:42, but we're trying to make the show pertinent to today's trading for sure. And I'll be back at the normal scheduled time on Monday. But Alex, who is listening live, writes in and says, Microsoft after hours or before hours, however you want to look at it, is trading at new all-time highs out there. Could this lead the market up today? So it's an excellent question. And right now you've got, this is at 8:42 in the morning, you've got Microsoft trading at 107.99. So that says that it's going to open up at, or should open up at a new all-time high. But if we take a look at Alex's question, you know, one of the things, and it's a great question, what we need to do, Alex, is understand, you know, what is the weighting percentage of Microsoft inside of the Dow? And of the Dow 30, as of last night's close, I can share with you that Microsoft was number 17. So number 17, which was a 2.82% weighting of the entire indice. That is much different than, let's say, Boeing, which is 9.6, or United Health, which is 7%, or Goldman Sachs, which is 6, or Home Depot, which is 5. Of course, it is twice the weighting of Pfizer. That's number 30, which is a 1% rating, and Coca-Cola, which is 1.2, and Merck, which is about 1.7. So at 17, you know, is it really in the middle? No, not really, because if you probably add up from 17 on the way down, you'd be at 3, 6, 9, 10, 12. You're probably only at around 25% or so of the weighting inside there. So do I think that Microsoft itself, by trading higher, is a message that it will actually lead the market up? Well, no, I don't think from a weighting standpoint. I don't think everybody is waiting on the cue necessarily of Microsoft. That doesn't mean that the Dow won't trade higher. We took a look at the Dow equity futures contracts, and we can see that on the screens inside of Japan, or those who trade the Dow, which, let's face it, The Dow is the trophy, right? For the big game hunters out there and inside this market, it's not the NASDAQ. It's not the S&P. It's not the Russell 2000. It's not that they're ignored, but that's not the big game trophy out there. The big game trophy is the Dow. So it is important to pay attention to what, especially what overseas traders are doing out there. And if we take a look at this chart here, this happens to be, it's not really a chart, but it is Stevie's market analyzer for each of the equities that make up the Dow out here. And what this does is this tells you in a heartbeat. This uses the exact same set of principles that led me to be the #1 market timer based upon Timer's Digest tracking of all the 100+ newsletter writers that they follow out there. And so all I've done is take that intelligence, if we want to call it that, and put that into a system so that you and I can take a look at every instrument, any instrument, and understand based on the time frame whether it's bullish, bearish, and what type of bullish or bearishness is it. Now, in this case here, we also can take a look at those signals that we began looking at the beginning of the show. We looked at the 5-hour time frame chart out there. And by the way, the daily chart for the Russell 2000 equities futures contract has a topping signal. Yesterday, the NQ on a daily basis confirmed a topping pattern out there, topping signal, a nice evening star pattern out there. So the market is signaling to us that it wants to top. Will it? I don't know. But it is telling us that that's what it wants to do. If we take a look at RMI signals amongst the Dow stocks, you're going to see United Health, which is a high weighting, does have a topping pattern in the daily and in the weekly, and it even has a signal in the monthly time frame chart. I think these types of signals, such as the one in Home Depot on a daily basis, such as Apple on a monthly basis, I think those are just as important as taking a look at what Microsoft. Now, Microsoft yesterday, just so you know out here, if we take a look at Microsoft's Bob, I call it Bob because it's bullish or bearish, and we look at Stevie's signals, and newsletter subscribers get this type of information each day, you'll see on a daily basis it was bullish. You'll see on a weekly basis it was a breakout bull. It doesn't get much stronger than that, and on a monthly basis a breakout bull. So it should be of no surprise to you or I that whether they released earnings or whatever they did, that you have price moving higher, right? When I gave a workshop yesterday, and I used this analogy, I went back to the very first time that I remember going to a financial seminar. It was a quarter of a century ago, more than a quarter of a century ago out there. And I remember the lad, I don't remember the guy's name, but I do remember him sitting up there, and he said, trading and investing is easy. All you need to do is buy low and sell high. Now, how many people out there have just simply regurgitated that statement? It's really simple, right? Buy low and sell high. Now, you know that Stevie always thinks differently. And as I shared with the folks that attended, thanks to the 150+ people that attended live and the other 400 that are going to watch the archive version of last night's workshop. That was great, and I really appreciate it. But what I shared with them was that advice is BS. It's all BS. Before Steve was able to share with them that buying low, when something is falling, how do you know where that low is? And I use as the example the 2007 top inside the Dow. There were plenty of times where there was a 10% discount, a 20% discount, a 30% discount off the top. Buy low and get run over, because at the end of the day, it was about a 54% discount before the Dow went ahead and bottomed. What the Dow did do was when it topped, it had the Rhodes Momentum Indicator pattern. And when it bottomed, it had the Rhodes Momentum Indicator bottom. I don't want to teach people how to buy low and sell high, because in the end, you'll get crushed. What I want to teach you how to do is to sell tops and buy bottoms, a totally different thing. And you use some type of pattern out there, whether it's a Rhodes Momentum Indicator signal, whether it's an A to B equals CD, whether it's a butterfly, whether it's a Gertley, whatever pattern, whether it's a Chapman wave, wave number 7, wave number, whatever it might be, a pattern out there, you want to make sure that you're using patterns and signals that let you know how to buy a bottom. And look, that's not the only time that you buy into something, but as far as buying low, be able to understand a bottoming pattern. And I don't know of a better bottoming pattern than the ones that I use. Once you form that bottom, then you're starting to take a look at levels of support or resistance. You're taking a look at those TAS market profiles, as we do inside of the Steve's Bob system out here, as we do when we take a look at Stevie's red line. Here it just says the daily OUL resistance, oscillator unchanged levels out there. You've got something that is bullish. You take a look at your market profile. You want to go ahead and add things and add to positions that are bullish out there. It really is. Can it be that simple? Yeah, it really is that simple. So buy low, sell high. That is a strategy that doesn't work. And I think I'm the only one that's going to share that with you. You want to buy a bottom. We took a look at gold earlier. It may be bottoming. It now needs, we know what to look for. We now just need it to go ahead and confirm those signals. It's up 380 right now, 1227.80. Seems to me like it's flirting. Seems to me like it's flirting with Stevie's red line. And then all you've got to do is go see what gold is doing in those other currencies. If you can get everybody on the same page, that's not buying low. That would be called buying a bottom. S&P futures up 2.5. I'm sorry, down 7. NASDAQ futures only up 2 right now. Something to think about. Steve Rhodes coming to you live at 8:50 in the morning. We'll come back for the roundup. Thanks for joining us. We'll be right back.
Today, it's hard to tell if the economy is coming or going. Regardless, I want my money going in the direction I choose. If that's your stance as well, then you want to know how Everbank can help keep your money thriving just the way you want. Is growing your money a priority? Everbank is committed to a yield pledge promise to pay high yields on your checking, money market, and CD balances. Looking to diversify? Everbank ingeniously developed accessible ways to spread your money around the world into foreign currencies and even non-FDIC insured metals. And when it comes to your wealth, they bring a highly experienced and global perspective to help you manage it. Everbank's financial philosophy flies in the face of the status quo. They believe your money's performance should not be determined by today's economic circumstances, but by the drive to rise above them and create opportunities that favor your objectives. If that excites you, like it does me, call 1-855-750-4051 to find out what they can do for you. That's 1-855-750-4051. Call them today. Everbank is a member FDIC and equal housing lender. Hi folks, Tom O'Brien here. If you'd like to get my daily newsletter, Market Insights, then now is a great time to sign up for a 30-day free trial. Every morning by 9:30, I send out my morning letter to subscribers with market commentary on a variety of markets, currencies, and commodities to keep investors up to date on the day's trading action. Included in Market Insights are specific buy and sell recommendations for stocks, ETFs, and even options, with stops and price targets included for every trade in my newsletter. If you'd like to try my newsletter risk-free for 30 days, then head over to the front page of TFNN and you'll find Market Insights under Trading Newsletters. I use my years of trading experience to bisect and dissect the market every morning and give my subscribers the most important information they need to know for the day ahead. I even issue afternoon updates for my subscribers whenever warranted with important market action. I'm always scouring the market for the next great trading opportunity. Sign up for your 30-day free trial to my daily newsletter, Market Insights, today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Wow! Go get them, folks.
TFNN has put together the finest programming lineup each trading day, featuring some of the most knowledgeable and respected financial minds in the nation to educate traders and investors. On Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, we broadcast 8 hours a day, starting at 9 a.m. as Larry Pesavento kicks us off with Trade What You See. Tuesdays and Thursdays, we broadcast 11 hours. Get an early and healthy start to your day as Nico and Paige bring you Living a Primal Lifestyle. Then catch Andy Hecht at 5 p.m. with the Commodities Hour, following the Tom O'Brien Show. Swim lessons from TD Ameritrade Thinkorswim is now at 11 a.m., followed by Basil Chapman at 12 noon. See the TFNN program lineup via the link on the front page of TFNN.com to get a complete overview of our TFNN shows and hosts. And keep TFNN's Tiger TV tuned in on your mobile device, PC, or Mac for the latest financial news and information throughout the broadcasting day. TFNN.com, educating investors. Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
Welcome back, folks. All those folks sell, buy, what, buy at Lowe's and buy low, sell high. That's the trick. Give me a breakout here. Look, Microsoft itself, we were talking about Microsoft. It broke out above its all-time highs back in December 2016. That was 59.97. It's 104.40. You mean you should have sold it at $60 or $70 or $80 or $90 out there? No, what you want to be able to do is you want to be able to identify and spot tops. You want to understand how markets make tops. We are going to be able to watch the NQ. Is the signal that came yesterday inside the NQ, the evening star pattern, price moving higher, doing less relative energy out there. The Rhodes momentum indicator signal, is that a top? Well, the answer is going to be if price is able to close below Stevie's red line. You'll see it's a green line right now. It's at least a short-term top. What happens if it doesn't close below Stevie's red line, which basically is about the 73.70 levels, what we'll call it. We're at 73.67. If that line gets rejected, it is still bullish. It says no, there is not a top just yet. This tells us that one is forming. This is the pattern that is associated with selling a top, so to speak. What else do we need to look at? We do need to go take a look at those TAS market profiles. So let's go shoot over there. And if we take a look at those TAS market profiles, we'll see on the 5-hour time frame chart, and this is the level to be watching, 73.57. Now, I was looking for this to see if this would close below that at 9 a.m. Doesn't look like that's going to happen. Why 9 a.m.? That's when the 5-hour bar actually completes. If price had closed below that, I'd be sending out a signal to subscribers that would say, take the trade on page 3. Doesn't look like we're going to have that. And because I am traveling, they're going to have to make a decision during the day. The next bar doesn't close till 2 o'clock. Hey, that's when you're going to be listening to this archive show. If at 2 o'clock the NQ is trading below 73.57, guess what? You have a confirmed top in the NQ. Thanks so much for joining us, folks. Whether it was live or whether it was in the archive version, I'll be back with you on Marvelous Monday. Have a fantastic weekend. As always, thanks for being here. Take care. Bye-bye now.
Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date, active trading information that will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletter.